Aerodynamics. Now, depending on who you're talking to, it could be the be-all and end-all, the most important factor affecting your cycling. I mean, don't pay attention to it, and you're not even going to be able to finish that Gran Fondo you're targeting on the same day that you started, let alone in a personal best time.
Now, clearly it's not that important, but undeniably it does have a big effect on how quickly and how easily you can ride. So we thought we'd see how much difference it makes to your speed when we change 3 common things on our road bikes.
Firstly, and completely for free, what happens when you change your body position?
And secondly, and quite inexpensively, what happens to your speed when you make your helmet and your clothing more aero?
Yeah, and then finally, with a bit more investment, what about your wheels? What is the difference between shallow and deep section wheels? Well, to find out, we have come to the GCN test track, our very own private road.
It's like a runway.
Yeah. And then we will ride to 3 preset wattages, controlled using, in my case, a rotor twin power meter, and in Matt's case, a power to max. And then we'll simply compare the speeds and do some science.
Oh, do you know what?
What's that?
I forgot our science glasses.
Okay, so quick caveat, anything that we do today will be riddled with statistical errors because we have no glasses.
Let's crack on anyway.
Yeah, let's do some pseudoscience. Body position first then. Now this is something that biomechanics permitting we can all do. Dropping our elbows, lowering our backs, dropping our head and tucking in our shoulders. So how are we going to test for it though? Well, we have a stretch of road that is flat and long enough to ride at a constant speed. We're going to ride at 3 different powers, 200 watts, 300 watts, 400 watts, and once we're at that constant speed, we'll take an average over a short stretch, giving us the exact speed that wattage will give us.
Test number 2 is clothing. Now we've gone for option number 1, which is the full GCN Pro Kit with aero helmet. Option number 2 is a vented cask helmet, and let's face it, a top that's probably several sizes too big and just a touch baggy.
Now finally then, wheels. This is the quick and easy way of making your bike more aero, but it does take more investment. So what is your return? Well, to find out, we are using a set of Bontrager Paradigm Elite wheels, really nice lightweight set of alloy rims, and a pair of Zips new 404 NSW wheels. Not the deepest they make, but still pretty rude, I think you'll agree.
This should be really good. I'm really interested to see how this goes.
You're really scraping the barrel, Matt. So the difference out on the road, well, quite remarkably, at 200 watts, there was a 3 km/h difference between a non-aerodynamic and an aerodynamic position. And at 300 watts and 400 watts, that difference went up to 4 km/h. The difference between simply swapping your jersey and your helmet then was a quite remarkable 1 km/h nearly at 200 watts. And then at 300 watts and 400 watts, again, the difference went up to nearly 2 km/h, which is quite remarkable for such a small change, I think. And then the results for the wheels then, well, the difference at 200 watts was 0.4 km/h. At 300 watts, it was 0.6 km/h. And then at 400 watts, it was 1 kilometre per hour.
So, out on the open road, how do these three aerodynamic changes actually stack up? Well, unsurprisingly, or perhaps not, considering it's free, it's actually your body position that has the most effect, because believe it or not, it accounts for between 70 and 80% of the aerodynamic drag of you and your bike as you cut through the air.
Yeah, so you can make significant improvements no matter what speed you're riding at in the first place, simply by changing your body position. Then, the next biggest improvement was clothing and helmet, followed by wheels, which seems a bit paradoxical really, given the extra money involved with getting a high performance set of wheels. But it does actually tally up when you think about it. It's much easier to make performance gains as you go from beginner or leisure cyclist through to a more performance-oriented rider.
The further the pursuit of aerodynamic gains, the more money it's going to cost you for increasingly less improvements. So it's completely up to you whether you think it's worth it or not.